Hello, how are you doing? Well, I'm Michael Rosen. I'm here again today, live on YouTube. Very exciting for me. Hope it's good for you. This will be a moderated live show. All the comments and questions are suitable for all audiences. And today, we have a very special guest joining us. More about that very soon. But first of all, I'd like to jump in with this silly fact. Remember, the theme for today is silly facts. Some of you have sent in. Kick off with the first one. This one comes from Carsten. He's 9 years old, and he says, I have a fact that is not that silly, but here it is. Are you ready? Banging your head against a wall for 1 hour burns 150 calories. Not silly, but very useful. It's very useful. I'm going to remember that because I've put on a little bit, too many mince pies. I think I'll go away from here now, bang on the wall for, was it? Boom, boom, yeah, that's right, for about an hour and yeah, work off some calories. Now, if you tuned into the last live stream, you'll know that as well as doing your shout-outs, chatting and performing my stuff, I do love to read out your jokes, poems and stories. So that's what we're doing today, silly facts. Let's see what else we've got for you. We've got a shout-out, here we are. This is for Stella and Margot Zorlu. And it says, Stella is sick, she loves my poems and my sad book. Yeah, that's that book that I did with Quentin Blake. We get great chuckles and belly laughs the nights we dip into the poems, says Neve, who's written this. Margot is 3. Hello, Margot, if you're watching. Hi. And loves anything that her big sister loves, but also loves chocolate cake. Don't we all? But actually, I like fruit cake just as much, and mince pies, okay, as much as chocolate cake. We all saw the production at the Polka Theatre of chocolate cake, that is. Yeah, I thought that was brilliant. And we laughed our heads off, says Neve. Happy Christmas to you and yours, and to you too, Neve. Thank you. Well, look, as I mentioned today, the show is going to be a bit different as we have a very special guest. Maybe as a little hint coming here. Can you see there? Is that in frame? Is that in frame, Matthew? Can you see that? Yeah, it's on there. A little hint, a little bit of a whirly effect there. Okay, he's the brilliant author of fantastic books like Cosmic and Millions. Do we know who it is? Yes, we do. It is Frank Cottrell Boyce. Cue music. No, we don't have any music. Frank, come in, unless you could prepare to sing, Frank, are you?
I can sing.
Oh, lovely. He's brought his own music. That's wonderful. Frank, lovely to see you.
Great to see you.
This is Frank Cottrell Boyce, folks. So today, Frank and I are going to be answering and asking some questions, doing shout-outs, telling jokes and poems, as well as some of your silly facts, as I said. So I'm going to have a little chat with Frank. Oh, you can also comment or use Super Chat. You see, I can look on here and see things like Dan saying chocolate cake, that sort of thing. Or what else have we got? Give this man a whirly effect. Well, I don't think we have that. We haven't got a whirly effect. Though we could go like this, couldn't we?
Just whirl.
Or should we do whirly effect? That's good.
Let's do the whirl.
Yeah, you're very good. So Frank, if you don't know Frank, all right, here's some of his books. Look, we've got Millions. We've got The Unforgotten Coat.
And there's one tucked in.
And we've got a tucked in one behind, where if you notice, Frank's name is bigger than the title on this one. I like that. So from the author of Millions, we have Desirable. And then over here, we've got more of Frank's books. We've got The Outstanding Broccoli Boy. And we've got Sputnik's Guide to Life on Earth. You want that? Here's his sequel to Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang Flies Again. That's my son's book, so I'm going to ask Frank to sign that. He doesn't know that yet. Framed, The Perfect Crime. It's a work of art. So we've got quite a few of Frank's books here. All right, so Frank, where have you come from today?
I've come from Liverpool today, top of the league.
Yeah,
I've come all the way down from the top of the league to here.
I don't think he needed to mention that, folks. He knows I'm an Arsenal supporter. That's really quite unpleasant, not a very nice way to kick off. Do you see what I did there? It was good. Yeah.
Those are my goal.
Yes, very good. So Frank, tell me about, apart from how well you're playing, not you, but your team, Liverpool, is that where you were born? Is that where you're from?
Yeah, I live a couple of miles from where I was born, just a few miles from where I was born.
Right.
By the sea.
And tell me some great things about Liverpool. Why should I think Liverpool is great?
Well, the Beatles.
Oh yes, yes, I did like them.
And
I still do.
The sea. I live by the sea. I can watch ships go by, which is quite cool.
Isn't it a river, or is it really the sea?
Well, I live just where the river becomes the sea.
Right. And what's the name of the sea?
The sea is the Irish Sea.
And
so
what's the name of the river?
The River Mersey.
And the Mersey, right. And there's songs about the Mersey, aren't there?
Yeah, Ferry Across the Mersey is the famous one.
Ferry.
Across the Mars. Well, are you actually going to sing?
Well, I was a 60s person, so yes, I see. And then, let me get an idea. When did you first start writing? So you went to school in Liverpool?
Yes, yeah. Well, I think I started thinking about words in year 6. I had a teacher who, I wasn't great at school, but at the end of I had a really good friend at school and he was off sick when I was in year 6. And we used to do little drawings and pass them to each other. And when I was in year 6, he was off sick. So I just put all the energy that I used to put into making Graham laugh into this piece of work. And at the end of the lesson, this teacher, she picked it up and she looked at it and she looked at me and she looked at it and she looked at me and she was like, if she'd laid an egg, she would not have looked. If I'd laid an egg, she would not have looked more surprised. And she read it out to the class.
What you'd written on it?
Yeah, what I'd written, and people laughed in all the right places. And I kind of thought, I think that's when I thought, well, words are something you could be good at. The way there were people in my class who were good at football, there were people who were good at singing, people who were great at drawing. There was one kid in my class who was an absolute genius at bullying people. He was really the Michelangelo of beating people up.
Right. He sounds like Razor Ruddock.
Yeah.
He played for you, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
For a week.
Yeah. He did, yeah. So that's when I kind of thought, oh, words. If you pick the right word, you make people laugh, you make people...
Very good. Now, later I'll be talking to you about your books for another little video, but there's one question that I've really wanted to know about. I really do want to know about this. Is it true that you wrote the screenplay, the script, for the opening of the Olympics in London 2012? Is that true?
Yeah, I can't. Well, there wasn't a script, but there was a writer and a set designer and a costume person and a music person and Danny, and I was the words person. I kind of put it all together.
That's incredible.
So
what we saw on the beginning of the Olympics with all that thing flying around and the chimneys going up and Daniel Craig talking to the Queen or whatever that was. You wrote that?
The Queen idea actually came from the designer, Mark Tilsley. I mean, I wrote the script for it, but it was Mark's idea.
Wow.
And we thought it wouldn't happen because we thought the Queen wouldn't want to be in a sketch.
Yes.
She'd never been in a sketch before.
No.
And our producer took the idea to the palace, not intending to ask the Queen, just to say, can we represent the Queen like this? We've got this actress. All we really want to know is what's the Queen wearing on the day so that our double can look like the Queen. And her her dresser said, but you'll be shooting it in Buckingham Palace. And we said, oh, no, it'll be too difficult, security. And she went, well, the Queen won't go anywhere else. And she went, no, we're not asking the Queen to be in it. And she went, I wouldn't mention that if I were you. She really wants to be in it. So it just happened.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, amazing.
So there we are, folks. There we are, folks. You're looking at the person who created, well, was part of it, at any rate, the whole of that opening of the Olympic Games 2012 in London.
Yeah,
Frank,
seems a long time ago.
That was a nice job to do.
It was a great job to do.
And you had all that lovely tribute to the National Health Service, all those people jumping in and out of bed and jumping on the bed.
And children's literature. We had
absolutely. I remember
Captain Hook and Mary Poppins and all those things in there. Yeah.
It's wonderful. Very good. Okay, so let's go on with our people writing in. We've got Video Toy Gamer who's written in. She's asking me, what is your favourite story or poem that you've done so far? Doesn't matter if it's wacky or not, because I can be wacky myself. So for me, my favourite story or poem that I've done is probably No Breathing.
I love that.
That one, that's right. Frank, what about you? Have you got a favourite story?
I think No Breathing is quite high on my list.
Oh, sorry, I meant one of your favourite. One of yours. What's one of your favourite books? What do you like?
I really like the one I'm writing at the moment, which is about robots.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that top secret?
I love this, Sputnik's Guide to Life, because it sort of wrote itself, which was great. Yeah.
So there we are. That's number 2. His number 1 is the one he's writing at the moment, which we now have heard, folks. There's a little special there, which is they're about robots.
Yeah.
That's a little kind of pre-press leak there, really, isn't it? Do I have kids or grandkids? Video Toy Gamer. Yes, I've got quite a few children and stepchildren, and as of December the 12th, I am now what is called in Yiddish a Zayda. That means a grandfather. Yes, I am now officially a Zayda. You say Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov.
That's good. That means congratulations. All right, as if I got anything to do with it. Okay, yes, so now I am a grandfather. Yes, she's sort of nearly got a name. Sort of nearly agreed. Is that right? Have I got that right? Laura, is that right? Yeah, that's right. I've nearly got a name. Just checking with Laura here. She knows more about these things than I do. Yeah, have you got any children?
I have 7 children.
Yes.
And I'm a triple Zayda because I have 3 grandchildren.
Oh, wow.
Who live around the corner from me, which is
fantastic.
So
you need Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov.
Yes.
Mazel Tov.
Oh, that's
every day a Mazel
fantastic.
Tov, yeah.
Lovely. And then Video Toy Gamer says, What is fortnight? Is it a fort you go to at night? Oh, that's good. That's well done.
That is very good.
Yes, we like that video toy gamer. That's
very
good.
good.
I have never actually played Fortnite. Is that what you do with Fortnite? You play it, do you?
You live it.
You live it.
I think it is a fort you go to at night.
Dave, have you played Fortnite?
Nope.
No, Dave's the editor. What about you, Matt? Have you played it? No. Laura? No. Sophie? Nobody here except you have.
I've watched people play it and then said, "Can I play?" And they've gone, "No."
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It's quite surly, is it?
It's a very addictive game.
Is it? Right. And it says here, what about the learning curve? Is it a curve that makes you learn? Probably not, actually. Yeah, in fact, I've never met anybody who has actually learnt from being on the learning curve.
No, only slid down it, maybe?
Slid down it, yes, especially when they're doing SATs. Anyway, we won't talk about that. So, Frank, have you got a fact there from, I think, Nisa Busco?
I've got a fact from, I've got a great funny fact for you to share on the December live stream. Did you know that Mike is short for Mycicle?
Mike is short for, I like that,
But
yes.
that is not the real fact. The real fact is this. This
What?
is the real fact. Rabbits become hypnotized when you put them on their backs. And that's because their brains release so much serotonin that they can't move. And the
Really?
scientific name for this is tonic immobility.
Tonic immobility.
I think I've
Let's remember
experienced
that. Tonic immobility. I could try have a go at doing that. Should
So
we
what
do
it
that?
says, don't do it to a pet bunny because it'll make him very
No, but we
uncomfortable.
could do tonic.
Oh, yeah,
Ready?
definitely.
1, 2, 3. Did we do it?
Yeah, we're great.
Oh, you'd put your head back. I put my head forward. I stared with mine. Yeah. Tonic immobility. Good, lovely. And then what happens? Oh, it's not good to do this to a pet bunny.
Don't do it to your pets because it makes
No.
them very uncomfortable.
And then Nissa says, hope you found this interesting.
Hope
I
you
think
found
we
it
did.
interesting. I think we did.
And
We
I
lived
enjoyed
it.
doing
Brilliant.
tonic immobility
Yeah,
there.
I'm gonna
I could
keep-
remember that.
Tonic immobility is my thing. From now
Yeah,
on.
we could do it. So
It's better than Fortnite. Actually, tonic immobility probably happens to you if you play too much Fortnite.
Yeah. Or it could be the thing that happens after Sunday lunch.
Yes,
You just
that's
sort of
what it
eat
is.
and
Yeah.
you eat. And there goes the Yorkshire pudding and then... Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Shout out to Raiden and Levi.
Great
My
names.
cousin Raiden and I love watching your videos. Oh, well, I'm glad of that. That's lovely. He has autism, and so he really connects with others through quoting movies or videos. And one of his favourite things is to quote your videos. Oh, that's brilliant. Lovely. Thank you. Some of your favourite videos of yours are the ones you did where you're in front of the grey and white screen. Oh, very well managed by us. And you tell a short story. He loves to yell, "My toenails." That's very good. Could you shout that?
My toenails!
Nicely done, Frank. And look out the window. There's a tree. That's my mum trying to distract us in that video. She's trying to, when we're driving and we're making a noise, and she goes, "Look out the window. There's a tree." So I hope you enjoyed that, Raiden. And it says, giving a shout out. Yes, we're doing that. Make him very happy. I'd love for him to have something to quote that was about him and me. He's always substituting our names for the characters' names in shows. Then he could have something to quote that actually had our names in it. That's quite complicated. You mean you want to have your names in a show, like
Like Dad's Army?
Dad's Army? I wonder whether Raiden and Levi, they might be in America, Raiden and Levi.
They could
Because
be.
people do sometimes. Are you in America? No, you can't answer. Let's have a look. Toenail, somebody says. Look out the window. Somebody says a skyfoogle. I don't know. I'll try and figure out how to do that. I suppose it could be in my one about the outing. Right, Class 6. That's it. Right, Class 6. I'm talking to you, Raiden, and you, Levi. Pay attention. We're going to the Science Museum. Are you listening? Listen! All eyes to the front. To the front. Thank you. Raiden, Levi. I wonder whether that'll work.
That
do you
was
think?
perfect. That was
I
brilliant.
sounded a bit like a teacher there. didn't
Yeah, you're very good. I think.
yeah, lovely.
I was
Let's see.
scared.
Oh, I got a news flash. Do you know I've launched a new YouTube channel specifically aimed at teachers? There was me doing a teacher. So maybe we'll have a screen grab coming up here from Dave. I don't know whether Dave's got that. He's done that. So for any teachers who might be watching, if you're any teachers watching today with your classes, please do check it out. I'll be putting up videos of me reading from my guides like What is Poetry? Writing for Pleasure, and Why Write, Why Read. So remember to subscribe, yeah, to stay updated on the latest vids on there. And now, Frank, I think we've got Vasily from Russia.
Yeah.
What's he say?
He says, "Hello, Michael.
That's good.
My name is Vasily. I'm a Russian guy and I've been your huge fan for several years. Here in Russia, not many people know about you."
That's amazing.
Vasily's going to change that.
Yes.
Because not many people speak English. Talking of crazy random facts, do you know that on planet Venus, one day lasts longer than a year on Earth?
One day lasts longer than a year. So that means when Venus is turning,
yeah, it takes longer to turn around than
a whole year for us to go round the sun.
We're twirling, look.
So we're going round the sun, and Venus is twirling
around itself,
and it's only right. So it takes longer than that. Yeah.
A year takes 225 Earth days.
Oh, so that's quite quick.
Yes, that's a
we
quick
take 365.
So it's going round slowly,
so it goes, but turns on itself. And then how long does a day take?
And a day takes 243 days. Keep on doing what you're doing.
So this is going slowly.
Yeah.
But Venus is going quite quickly.
Yeah.
Slow spin.
It's spinning slowly, but going around quite fast.
Oh, right.
So it says, keep on doing what you're doing, which at the time you were doing that.
Yeah, so I've just got to do this for the rest of my life.
For the rest of your life, yeah.
Yes, this is reminding me of when in Bear Hunt when I go, whoo, woo. Yes, can you do that, Frank? Woo, woo. We could do Bear Hunt together.
I would love that.
Double act. Fantastic. Kay Devine, or Devine, says, hi, Michael. My 4-year-old son, Alfred, great name, absolutely adores your channel, and he wants to ask you, Michael Rosen, do you like trains? I'll put this to Frank, actually. Frank, do you like trains?
I love trains. I've just come off a train. I do all my writing on trains. I practically live on trains.
What, you write on the train?
Yeah, gosh.
Do the people mind? You're writing all over the train? Oh, no, sorry, in a notebook.
Sorry. Very good, very good.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, so Alfred's a nice name, isn't it?
Alfred is a great name.
It is, isn't it?
Alfred the Great is a good name.
Yes, he burnt the cakes, they say. Have you ever found a bear? No, I haven't found a bear. I did. Bears are in Canada. Some of them, anyway. Some of them are in Canada. And I was taken on a trip to see a bald-headed eagle. Are they called? That's what they're called, aren't they?
Yeah.
A bald-headed eagle. So that's about as near to a bear as I've got. There's a bald head. It was up in a tree like that. And when it saw us, there were several of us. It went. That's me being a bald-headed eagle.
That is a brilliant impersonation.
Does that look like one? Yeah. Have you seen a bear?
No.
I mean, outside of the zoo, have you seen one in the wild?
No, never.
Not in Liverpool? No bears in Liverpool? No.
We've got everything else, but not bears.
I don't know. Your manager, Jurgen Klopp, he's quite bear-like, isn't he?
Yeah, bear-like.
And when he comes on, he goes, yeah, no, you played, of course, you played very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's he laughing about all the... Oh, I know, it's because you're winning. Yeah, never mind.
Because we win, yeah.
And that came from Alfred's mam. Thank you very much. And now we've got Liam Cochrane, who says, I really love your poems. They really inspire me with my creative writing in English at school. I just wanted to know who inspired you to write your poems and what is your favourite ice cream colour? Let's find out from Frank. Frank, what's your favourite ice cream colour?
Colour. I hadn't really thought about colour.
Or type. We can push it a bit, I'm sure Liam won't mind.
I like when you get lots of bits of chocolate in it. Is it called stracciatella?
Oh, yes.
So it's vanilla, but with big chunks of chocolate.
Yes, I know. It's a bit streaky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen that. My favourite, this sounds really quite in French, recherche. It's the one I like is blackcurrant sorbet. If you could arrange for me to have some it has to have the little chewy bits of blackcurrant in it that get stuck in your teeth. They're fantastic. Blackcurrant sorbet. Let me recommend it. It is fantastic. Very good. Who inspired me to write my poems? Well, let me just say this. I had two parents, brought up by two parents, but my brother thought that I didn't have enough parents. He thought that I needed 3, and that was him. So he became a third parent. So my mum might say, oh, Michael, tidy your room. And my dad would say, Michael, you heard what your mother said, tidy your room. My brother would go, yeah, tidy your room. I needed that. I needed a third parent. No, I didn't. Anyway, but he was brilliant at pretending to be my dad. Yeah, some of you may have seen that vid I did. But my dad, you know, if he wanted us to be quiet, he didn't say shush or be quiet or the Yiddish word, which is stumm. He didn't say any of that. If he wanted you to be quiet, he went like this. There's a big noise going, and he'd go, the noise. Like that. You press his hand against his head. The noise, like that. So my brother, he imitated that.
No.
So we'd be mucking around in the bedroom, way like this, and then my brother would go, the noise. Like that, you see. And then I thought, well, if you can imitate people, and make people laugh,
Yeah,
then I
yeah.
could do that. Was your dad around when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Was he quite strict?
He was very, very tall, and I'm tiny. So he just had the dice completely loaded in his favour. He just had to walk into the room. But he was really, really seriously tall. So.
Right. And did he have any like kind of phrases, like when he was like telling you off, anything sort of especially sort of Liverpool-like or anything? Did he say...
Put a sock in it or something.
Put a sock in it, he would say. Yeah. Was he from Liverpool?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Frank.
Frank.
Very imaginative guy.
Right. So you're Frank Jr.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Are you
Yeah.
Frank II or
I'm
Frank
Frank
III?
Jr. I think his dad was Thomas actually, but there was a Frank in his family as well.
Right, so he could
just
be Frank
Franks
III.
keep going. Frank the Third, yeah.
Like that, the Hamiltons who keep, the folk singers, they keep having him. Yeah. So I think now Gina Lamb has got a fact for us. What have you got, Frank?
Gina has told us that, did you know, she said, that the pound sterling is one of the oldest currencies in the world.
Right. No, I'm not sure I did, actually. And you can't really mention the word sterling in front of Frank because he went from a team called Liverpool, you may have heard of them, and went off to another team called Manchester City, who are probably going to win the Premiership. Right. There's something going on there, I'm not quite sure what. So now a shout out to Year 5 at St Andrew's School in Soham. We love watching and listening to your poems. That's lovely. I hope you read some of Frank's... Is he doing a sign? Is he going to... Yeah, that's right. We've used your... What does that say? It says wrong. If you can't read that, that's what it says. And anyway, St Andrew's School in Soham. So we used your videos and poems to help us write poems about play. That's brilliant. And lots of fun doing them. Many thanks. Year 5. Do you read Frank's books? People of Year 5 read your books, don't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, your
you
books
should do.
sort of spread across,
Yeah.
some of them for quite young ones like these, don't
Yeah.
they? But then I think
This
I've
is a bit
seen
older.
Year 5, 6s, 7s
Yeah, Year
and
5,
8s.
Sue Millions and Sputnik.
And which one of your books has been made, which ones of your books have been made into movies? And
This was made into a movie, and this...
that's Millions been made into a movie?
And Sputnik is being made into a movie as we speak.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
A big feature or a TV?
It's an animation, DreamWorks.
Oh, really? DreamWorks?
Yeah.
You know who's behind that, folks? Spielberg.
Yeah,
So,
quite exciting.
have you met him?
No.
That's
Animation's different. It's
It
people
is.
who live in little caves and do little drawings, and
And is
they
that
don't
gonna-
come out in the daylight.
No, they don't, because they did Bear Hunt, and I went in there, and there were 100 people,
Yeah.
all sitting in a little...
Drawing one bear.
Yeah.
I'll draw this
bear?
hair.
Not a whole bear, no, just a little foot.
Yeah.
And that's it, yeah, 100 people working on one foot.
Yeah.
Do you know, in the film, do you know who played the bear, the soundtrack of the bear?
No, I don't. Did you?
I went.
Oh wow, that's a
So
fantastic.
if ever you
fun
see
fact.
the animation of we're going on a bear hunt, just listen out for... And there's another bit where the dog smells the hedgehog.
Yeah.
And I did... On the
Of
film.
all the fun facts, that's the most fun.
Will you get into this one?
Definitely.
Soundtrack? Will
Yeah.
there be a little bit of you going,
Yeah.
Liverpool?
Pool.
will it be who's
Just
saying
going,
it?
champions.
Yes.
That's what
something
we'll be
like
singing.
that, yes. What have you won in the last 20 or 30 years?
Me personally?
No, the
Oh,
team.
no,
But-
no,
but-
no, we're not doing
What
that.
trophies?
No,
have you-
no, we're not
Oh,
doing
just
that.
checking.
No.
That was quite an
We haven't had
objective.
the Premier
that was fair
League for a
enough,
long
wasn't it,
time.
Dave? I mean, I
Champions
believe
League.
another team called Arsenal has won or two things.
Yes, one or two.
Arsene Wenger's magic. He wears a magic hat. He saw the FA Cup and said, I'm having that. No. He did. He won 7, didn't he, Dave? Yeah, he did.
very
Thank
good.
you. Yeah, Dave, that's right. Jamie Lochrin writes, what's up, Mick? I don't know.
very
really.
familiar.
Actually, I was hoping you'd answer this question. I now send to you. Are you a Tolkien fan? What about you, Frank? Do you like
Do you know,
Tolkien?
I was a big Tolkien fan when I was younger, and I sort of forgot about him. And then this year, I reread The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And it's kind of brilliant. It's
Yes.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it is amazing stuff. As a kid, I loved The Hobbit. I did really love The Hobbit. I didn't really read Lord of the Rings as a child, and I read some of it as an adult, and I got a bit lost, to tell you the truth. I thought it was a
Yeah.
bit too clever for me. I couldn't sort of keep up with
There's
it.
a lot of description.
Yes.
And when you see the film, that becomes design. So that's kind of like, I think the films are sort of better in a way.
Right.
Because all that kind of description becomes costumes or...
That's a
landscapes.
writer saying that, folks, saying that the film is better because you
Yeah,
haven't got
yeah.
Yes.
You haven't got to read it all.
Yes. Don't admit that, Frank. Stop it.
But they're kind of great, you know. And what I love about them is that the world felt very real. So you were kind of escaping.
Yes.
Yeah.
And people have said that some of it comes from the fact that he was in the First World War
Yeah.
and utterly traumatised.
Yeah, I think when
and
you read it when
shocked
you're
by
older, that's so much clearer to you, and you
Yeah.
kind of feel a real emotion in it, you know.
Yeah. I did actually read some of the things that Tolkien wrote about Anglo-Saxon folks, because when I went to university, I had to read Anglo-Saxon, something called Beowulf. Yes, that's right. Which begins, What way Gardena in Gaardagum. Yeah, I had to read that. And Tolkien wrote about Anglo-Saxon because he was very interested. So I've answered your next two questions. It was The Hobbit that I read. And those drawings, I think, did he do those drawings?
Yeah.
He did the drawings in The Hobbit, that when you see that, and I loved that. Oh, right, we have a news flash. Bar humbug on Thursday the 20th. That's this coming Thursday. I'll be performing from my book, Bar Humbug, at the Elgar Room. That sounds quite posh, doesn't it?
Very
at
nice.
the Royal Albert Hall here in London. Yeah, there'll be two performances, starting at 11:30 and 3 o'clock. So if you go to the Royal Albert Hall website, you can book your tickets there. So I'll be on at the Albert Hall, not in the main auditorium, but in the Elgar Room. Yes, indeed. Now we've got Mark Mason Robledo. He's sent a question, in fact, a joke and a new poem. So he says, the poems that included Nat and Anna, did you base them off two people that you knew? Yes, I did. I based them on my two sons, Joe and Eddie, because they were having conversations like that. Joe, older than Eddie, all right. Eddie, sadly, no longer with us. He died, all right. But Joe and Eddie, when they were young, they spoke rather like Nat and Anna. So he says, Mark says, are they real? Well, they're kind of, well, when we write, don't we? We sometimes hear things and then we change them and sort of work them about a bit so that they work. So that's what I did. I listened to Joe and Eddie arguing and scaring each other and all that, and then I sort of squeezed it into those conversations. Frank, I think Mark's got a fact here.
Mark's interesting fact is an amazing one. He says, did you know that a crocodile can't poke its own tongue out?
A crocodile can't poke its own tongue out. Well, that's a thought, isn't it? Has he got a tongue?
Huge tongue. Yeah, I think they do have tongues. Well, yeah, but it can't
Dave,
poke it out.
have crocodiles got tongues?
Yep.
Yeah, Dave says, Dave knows everything, by the way, I meant to tell you that.
But they can't be rude.
They can't go. No.
They have to be polite.
So this is a wonderful evolutionary thing. We've advanced so much from having once in our origins been reptiles that one of the key things we can do is go.
It probably makes all the difference.
Can you roll your tongue?
No.
No.
Can you?
A little bit. It's not very good.
I think that means you're genetically superior. I think you're the next stage in evolution.
Wow, that's incredible. So there's crocodiles, there's you, and then there's me.
Yeah, Michael Rosen at the
Incredible.
top of the tree.
Right, and then Mark says, I made my... No, it's Liverpool at the top of the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, you must keep to the script. I made my own version of Down Behind the Dustbin. It goes, down behind the dustbin, I met a dog called Lou. I wonder where this is going. Something smells funny here. I think I know where it's going. Do you think? What do you think?
I can hear
Lou's
the rhyme
going?
coming.
Hear it. It was the bins, but then he said it was you. Oh, I thought the P word was coming in there, didn't you?
I thought it was going to be Vindaloo.
Vindaloo. Oh, that would be good. I met a dog called Lou. Something smells funny here. It's the effects of the Vindaloo.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah. Oh, and I made another poem. Oh, right. Well, shall we do alternate lines?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. Can you tell me your name, or are you in pain?
Can you tell me a joke, or do you need a poke?
Can you run, or are you no fun?
Can you smell, or can you not tell?
Can you see, or is it just me?
Can you hear, or do you have a fear?
Can you speak, or do you need to take a peek?
Can you wave, or are you not brave?
Can you move, or do you need to improve?
Can you feel your feet, or dance to the beat?
Can you sit, or do you quit?
Can you stand, or have you got something planned?
Can you walk, or do you just talk?
Can you?
Yeah! Oh, well done, Mark Mason Robledo. Lovely. Thank you for reading this email, he says. I hope to bring you more great ideas and poems in the future. I look forward to that, Mark. Lovely. Now we've got Ayla McCamphill Rose, who writes, Hi, my son's class Ferrari here in Italy at the British Forces School, Naples, or Napoli, as we might say. Who's managing Napoli at the moment?
We were talking about this before.
Yeah.
You've got.
Is it Ancelotti?
It's Ancelotti.
Yeah. I bet Man U would like him.
They
now
would
they've
love him.
lost
Yeah,
Mourinho. No laughing. Would love a shout out. We love your books. Ciao. Ciao. Can you speak Italian, Frank?
Un poco.
Un
No, that's
poco.
Spanish, isn't it?
I don't know.
I can't speak
I don't
Italian.
know. And she says, it's also their school Christmas performance today, so good luck with that. And I think to say Happy Christmas in Italian, you say,
Buon Natale.
Oh, you know.
There you go.
Say it again.
That. Buon Natale.
How do you say with mushrooms?
Con Championes? No, that's Champions, that's us, that's Liverpool.
Oh, he doesn't stop, Dave. Can we take him off this programme? Can we just go get... Okay, I think you say, when you go for a pizza, you say con funghi.
Fungi, yeah.
Funghi.
Okay, con funghi.
I found that very useful. If you go to Italy, wherever you go, you can go up to people and say, con funghi.
Okay.
It's really useful. You go up to a policeman.
Christmas with mushrooms.
Absolutely. You know, you're in the middle of Rome, traffic going to and fro, you know, you just go, con funghi. It's useful, isn't it?
We wish you a merry mushroom.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, that's right. You know the toadstools, they haven't got mushroom. Hey! Ethan Chan writes, hi Michael, how did you learn to be so confident with your performances? Well, I went to an amateur theatre when I was a kid called Questers, and we used to have to do improvs and do things like that. And the very first improv I had to do when I was just 12, and the lady, Miss Rice, said, mime peeling a potato. No, mime peeling an apple. So I did this, and I went like that, and she said, no. I said, what's wrong? And she said, if you peel an apple, you have to go round, and you have to show the shape of the apple. And all I'd done was go like that.
Right.
And I thought, yes, you do peel an apple differently. And that was my first drama lesson.
Very good.
What do you think about that, Sophie? Yeah, no, Sophie went to drama school, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Did you learn how to mime peeling a potato? No. Well, your drama school wasn't any good.
Go
then,
back,
was it?
go back, start again.
What was the first mime you did?
Oh, we did some sandwiches.
Sandwiches. You see, making sandwiches, it's not as good, is it? Sophie's saying they did sandwiches. Now, that's no good, is it?
No.
You've got to peel an apple, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely got to
Yeah.
peel an apple.
All right, we'll check that later, Sophie. Very good. Thank you for that, Ethin Chan. Hello, Michael, says Joshua GamerPig6. I hope you're doing well. I really enjoy your content. What are your hobbies outside of telling stories? Well, I go to a place which is called the Home of Football. Did you hear that? The Home of Football. It's otherwise known as
Is
the
it like an
Emirates.
old people's home type of home?
No, it isn't. No, it's a place where football really was kind of created. You know, really the modern game was created at Arsenal. Yes, that's right.
Is that why they play like beginners football?
Oh, it's relentless, isn't it? So I go to the Emirates with my son, and we have a good time. That's one thing I do. I read a lot. I do read a lot. I've been reading about what happened to my family during the last war. I think it's a great idea to explore what our families were like in the past. Have you ever done that, Frank? Have you explored your family?
Yeah, well, my dad is very old at the moment. He has dementia. So he's talking to people that I've never met, you know, because his mind has gone a bit funny.
So when you meet, he's talking in his mind?
His grandmother and people like that. So I'm starting to think about what that was like. The past is much nearer than you think it is. You know, he lived in a very different world.
And like a lot of people from Liverpool, do some of your forebears come from Ireland?
They're all from Ireland, but also Liverpool was blitzed in the war, so there are lots of very, very vivid war memories. And all his brothers were at sea, so there's lots of stuff about the sea and coming home from sea and all that stuff. So.
And where in Ireland are they from?
From my family from Northern Ireland, and my wife's family from the west.
And whereabouts in the north of Ireland?
Sort of near Belfast.
Near Belfast.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Great. Lovely. Thank you, Joshua. Misty Kenny writes, I'm a huge fan of your poems. That's lovely. Thank you, Misty. I used to listen to them on my tape recorder. Tape recorder. Does anyone know what that is, Dave?
Wow.
Do you know what a tape recorder is? No. Matt? No, a tape recorder. I do, because I had one when I was a kid. Yeah, some of you could look that up on Wiki, a tape recorder. Do you remember them?
I used to hold mine up to the television to record Top of the Pops.
Hey, I love it. Yeah, because, I mean, Top of the Pops just was all Liverpool when I was a kid.
Of course it was, yeah.
It was just everybody.
Carried on being all Liverpool.
All Liverpool. I thought for a while that the Rolling Stones came from Liverpool.
They wish.
But they didn't, did they? They came from Richmond.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as exciting.
Yeah.
So every night my brother would hear me rummaging around in my desk, choosing a cassette, do you know what that is, folks? To listen to before bed. I had your tapes. This is from Misty, that's nice. And my son loves your poems. I still enjoy listening to them with him. Please give a shout out to my 10-year-old son. Here he is. You can say the name, Frank.
Wilfred Kenny.
Who's turning 11 on December the 21st. Mazel tov, Wilfred. Happy
Mazel tov.
birthday. Lovely. Wilfred would like me to mention that his favourite poem is Australia. Yes, we went to Australia. And though we didn't see crocodiles, we did see little things called blue tongues that are like little crocodiles. And there was one in the outside shower when we were in the countryside. And I pulled back the curtain and it was there going... That's what it was doing. And it was waggling its tongue. It may not have been sticking it out. It's called a blue tongue. It's more purple than blue, actually. And like that. And I was actually quite scared because even though it's that big, I thought, well, it could nip you.
I'm scared
And
just sitting here.
Yeah, well, it had a little nippy thing like that. So, yeah. How do we get into that? Oh, favourite poems Australia. My favourite poem as a child was The Car Trip.
I love The Car Trip.
Yeah. Look, there's a lamppost. And now it's hole in the wall. Oh yes, that's when my brother went into the room next door, and I was so sad I tried to drill a hole in the wall to get through to him. But of course I went through. And my dad came in and he saw me, and I was I tried to cover it up like that. But he said, "What's that you're covering up?" I said, "No, it's nothing at all." But I'd actually been drilling this hole in order to get through to my brother in the other room. It was quite sad, really, now I think about it. My brother's name is Brian, by the way, and I call him Bryce, and he calls me Mize, don't they, one? Miss Mia, I'm a trainee teacher. Very good. Best of luck, Miss Mia. I just want to say I think your poems, especially the ones that relate to schools such as the Register. Ah, yes, that's where things are not going very well because the Register never turns up.
Yeah.
All lots of things going on. The snails escape.
Yeah.
They do. And they can't find the snails, and then they find that one of the boys got one of them in his pocket. Take it out of your pocket, and you, etc. And the dinner hall one. Oh, you like the dinner hall? Oh, good. They're so relatable. I don't know how you managed to act them out and recall all the names in them without hesitation. I'm going to reveal something here, Frank. Have you read things on telly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a teleprompt.
You have the teleprompt. I'm sorry about this, Miss Mia. Some of us call it auto cue or teleprompt. Basically, in front of I'm looking here at the screen, and in front of it, I know this is a bit weird, are words. So we read the words off, Miss Mia. I'm giving away a trade secret here because I wanted people to believe that I know these things off by heart. But can you do it? Can you read off teleprompt all right?
Yeah, but your eyes start going like this, don't they?
Yeah.
And you kind of...
Yeah, I went for a walk, that sort of thing, yeah. Okay, please post more similar to those. I better write some more, Miss Mia. What's Miss Mia's question there, Frank? What have you got?
She said, where do you get the inspiration for your poems?
Well,
School has got to be one place, she says.
Yes, that's right. I always had a group of friends. That's how I got through school. Was it like that for you, having friends at school?
Yeah, I think writing to impress your friends rather than teachers was good. We had a school newspaper that we did ourselves. It wasn't the official school newspaper. And that was a cool thing.
Like an underground newspaper?
Like an underground newspaper,
wow.
Yeah. That was very good.
There's an idea for you folks listening. You could start an underground newspaper, and it's so easy to do these days online.
Yeah.
Really easy. Yeah.
And then she says, could you give a surprise shout out to Year 2, Class 7, and wish them all the best in their upcoming play?
Yes, definitely. Year 2, Class 7, best of luck in the upcoming play. I wonder what the play is.
I know, I'm excited to know what the play is.
Yeah, what's the play?
Say.
Miss Mia, what's the play? What is it? I wonder what it is. What do you think it is? Do you know Einstein was in a Christmas play? Do you know what it was?
Go on.
The Relativity play.
Hey.
Instead of the Nativity. No,
Very
never mind.
good.
That's all right.
That's
no.
good.
No, it wasn't very good. Sorry about that. I thought, Dave, was that any good? It was great. No, it wasn't really good, was it? No, Dave didn't like.
We're having fun facts.
We are.
Einstein is the person who wrote the patent for Toblerone. Did you know that?
Wait a minute. Are you saying he invented?
No, he didn't invent Toblerone. He kind of authorised the patent for Toblerone.
Because he was working in the patent office
yeah.
in Vienna.
He said, yeah, Toblerone, good idea.
Einstein, there he was, E = mc squared. This is one of the world's greatest geniuses. And one of the things he sat and wrote was, Toblerone, you have a patent.
I believe chocolate could be triangular. That's what.
Do you like it?
Toblerone. Not mad about Toblerone.
No. We're giving this great big ad for it, and now we're saying we don't like it. No. Will we? I'm sorry, Toblerone. We could get into trouble for that, you know. Right. And now we've got a screen. We have a screen grab, I think, and we also have a news flash. If you enjoyed me reading my novel, You're Thinking About Donuts, then you might be excited to hear that the sequel to this is You're Thinking About Tomatoes. And it's going to be available on the YouTube channel from 1 o'clock today. What's the time, Frank?
Fantastic. 1:15.
1:15.
Yeah.
1:15. It's up there already. Don't leave us. Don't leave us. Stay with us. Stay. That's it. Good. But it's available from 1 o'clock today. So there we are. It should be available right from any minute now. I'll be releasing the first chapter today. So stay tuned over the holidays to view the vids as they come out. There's 16 chapters in total. You could do
That's
that,
so
Frank.
exciting.
You could have the Frank Cottrell
Yeah.
Boyce, why not? Yeah. The Frank Cottrell Voice channel. You see what I did there? Okay, and you
read
could
my
read your books.
Like Jack and Ori.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, that sounds great. I'm definitely going to watch yours.
Yeah, and you could have like Liverpool sort of scarves behind you.
Yes,
Do you know, with
and the
'cause
Champions
and a long
League Cup,
time
the
ago, when
Premiership
when you
trophies.
used to win trophies, you could have those sort of years and years ago.
2005.
Yeah, it's quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. And what about before then? When was the one before?
Oh no, okay, let's move on.
Yeah, okay. Down behind the dustbin, I met a dog called Sophie.
Yeah.
She had won the FA Cup, and she was still carrying the.
Trophy.
I wonder which team she played for. Okay, and now Facenda or Facenda or Fagenda. I'm very sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. It could be Spanish, that, couldn't it?
Yes.
Are you Spanish, Facenda? She wants to know, how do you remember all of your stories from your childhood? Well, you do this, Frank. Sometimes, when I'm daydreaming, it's almost like I'm digging in the garden. I'm sort of excavating things that happened to me when I was a child. Do you do that?
Yeah, and also I live not very far from where I was born, so I'm constantly sort of passing places where I think, oh, that's what that happened, and that's what happened.
Nice.
I kind of live in the museum of me.
Oh, wow. Just someone write that down. Live in the museum of me. I'm just going to write that down, Frank. That's wonderful. Live in the museum of me. You could think of that, folks, those of you interested in writing, that if you live in the museum of me, or you, that is a good place to start writing, isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Live in the museum of me. I'm stealing that. Frank.
Okay,
Have I got
it's
to
all
write?
yours.
Have I got to say Frank says that?
No, you can have that.
I think I better say Frank
It's my
says.
thank you present.
Your Frank you present.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. That's good. You see what you did there? That's good. Yeah. So, actually, it looks like live in the museum of me as well as live in the museum. It's both,
very
isn't
good.
it?
Yeah.
Live in the museum of me, bringing Frank Cottrell Boyce. Yes, I like that. Yeah. Lovely. Did that answer your question, Facenda? How do you remember all your stories? Well, I think it did, because that's what I do as well. So I'm stealing Frank's little saying. It's a way of living. I sometimes say to children who are just about to write, sometimes just give yourself 30 seconds daydreaming.
Yeah.
30 seconds, just blank out,
Yeah.
and stuff starts happening.
Yeah.
Because we've got brains, and everyone's got a brain. Everyone's brain's going.
And it's doing all kinds of stuff that you
Yeah.
don't even know it's doing.
30 seconds and stuff will start coming up that you can think about. Vincent writes, hello, Mr. Rosen. I really love your stories. I'd like to know which story do you prefer among the ones you wrote. Thanks for your incredible work. I've been following you from France. Alors, merci beaucoup, Vincent. Je crois que peut-être t'es français, je sais pas. Alors, merci beaucoup, tu dis. I've been following you from France. Tu me suis de la France, de la République. Bonne chance. Good luck, you say, with your future plans. Which ones do I prefer? Which ones do I like? Well, I do like that one, no breathing. I wouldn't know how to say that in French. How would you say? Respire pas.
Pas de respiration.
Yeah. Pas de respiration. Souffle pas. That was, you could say that.
Yeah.
Souffle pas.
Souffle pas.
Yeah. Souffle pas. So I think that's one of my favourites. I wonder where you're from in France, Vincent. I was in Paris a short while ago for sad reasons. I was at the Mémorial de la Shoah in Paris because my great-uncle, my father's uncle, died during the war. He was taken away from France. He was from France. He was from Sedan in the Ardennes, and he was taken away during the war. And we went to commemorate. So there was une commémoration au Musée de la Shoah that I went to, Vincent. So thank you very much for watching all the way from France. I wonder where you are. Peut-être t'es en Paris, je sais pas. So Josh from Pennsylvania. We're going all over the place.
We're all over the world today.
We are. God, I mean, I wonder nearly as far as Liverpool. No. Liverpool's miles
Not
away.
as far up
Yeah.
the league. But
Oh, he's still saying it. He's still saying it. I like your books and I have autism, says Josh. I was wondering if I could have a shout out. Here it is. Hi, Josh from Pennsylvania, where my cousin lives. Yes, because half of my family is American, Josh, and my cousin Teddy lives near, I think it's called Andreas. He's way out in the countryside on the top of a mountain. Did you go there, Laura? Did you go there? No, you didn't get that far. I was wondering if you could give my friend Nick Bangavnagar a shout out too, please. Josh, I'd love to. What inspires you when it comes to writing books and stories? Listening and looking. I tell you, I wrote a little story called Barking for Bagels, and this was inspired by the fact that very sadly the people over the road from us, their little dog ran away. They took their dog for a walk to the park and the dog ran and it never came back. And I thought, well, what if you were the dog?
Yeah.
Obviously the family are very sad, and you could write a story. In stories, folks, Frank knows this better than me, you choose your point of view. Who's looking, who's telling, who do we see? Yeah. And I was thinking about the kids and the parents, and they were so upset the dog had gone away. And then I thought, yeah, but what about the dog? Because the dog's escaped. So first of all, the dog must think, woo, this is great. And he's running through the woods and he's running through the park and he's thinking this is great. And why? Why has he escaped? Because after all, the family, they're lovely.
Yeah.
Why would you run away?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I thought maybe there was one of these pop-up markets and there's someone there making bagels in the market. And the dog thought, that would be good. That would be really good. But then maybe the dog would get sad and think about going back.
Right.
And then what if the dog goes back? Now, the folks over the road, they've got a wall and a door in the wall into their back garden, into their backyard. And they left the door open in case the little dog wanted to come back. But then after a few weeks, you know what they did? They closed the door. And then I thought, what if the dog, in my story, came back and found the door closed?
It was too late.
And then what else? If while he's going outside to say I'm back, there's another dog inside going.
It's too sad.
Dave, stop laughing. Going like that.
Oh, dog. God.
So that all came. So there's a story. It came out called Barking for Bagels, and the story came from real
that's
life.
Brilliant.
Do you do that?
Yeah, definitely. Use things that happen in real life. But that's
looking
that's
and
a
listening.
Sad story.
It is, but it works out all right in the end.
Oh, good.
No, don't worry.
So
seriously.
It's not too rough.
Yeah, no, Frank, it's okay. It's okay. He's very sensitive. He's very sensitive, Frank. Everyone from Liverpool is very sensitive.
Yeah.
Josh, have you got anything else to say? You say, what inspires you? Your favourite one is chocolate cake. Do you like chocolate cake, Josh? I hope so. Thanks again. Take care. And your little sign-in is Josh Dog.
Josh Dog.
Hey, look there. Look at that.
Josh
Dog.
Dog.
1, 2, 3. That's fantastic. So
How
really,
did that work out? That's cool, isn't it?
so I'm telling you about dogs, and you're a dog. No, you're not. Okay, Frank. I think you've got a fact for us.
Kenny Hunter would like to give a shout out to his cousin, Caden Farrelly, and he sent these very funny animal facts. Cows can walk upstairs, but they can't come back down again.
Oh my goodness, that's awful for them. Because I mean, you could turn up at someone's house for tea. You want to go to the toilet. You go upstairs because the bathroom's upstairs.
Yeah.
You go upstairs, you can't come down again.
Yeah.
You're stuck.
Terrible thing.
How do you get them downstairs?
You can't. I know that this is true because the very famous astronomer, this is a fun fact, Tycho Brahe, had a pet elk and he took it upstairs and it couldn't get it down again and it fell down the stairs and died.
Oh no.
He got it drunk to see if it would come down the stairs more easily if it was a bit relaxed. He gave it wine to drink and it just fell downstairs and died. So sorry to bring that one up.
That's awful, isn't it, Dave? Don't you think?
Yeah, one of Kenny's fun facts. Sorry to have gone off on one there.
So what's the astronomer called?
Tycho Brahe. He had a nose made of brass, just so you know.
Did he?
Yeah.
Tycho Brahe.
Yay!
Yes. That's incredible. He took an elk upstairs and it got stuck. Wow.
I like that he tried to get it drunk.
Yeah, so that's a fantastic fact. Have you got any more, Kenny?
Yeah, goats. Kenny says goats have got rectangular pupils.
Oh, right. So let's have a look. You've got, round ones.
Yeah.
We've got Dave, are yours round? Yep, that's right. Matt, yours, yeah, lovely, good. So the goats have like sort of squarish.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just trying to think of the last goat I met. Actually, yeah, Laura, your sister once got pushed against a wall by a goat. It was incredibly scary.
Yeah, goats are hard.
They are. You think they're just, but they're not.
No, they don't take any message.
Right, so thanks for that, the rectangular pupils.
His
What
last
else have
one
we
is,
got?
Gen 2 penguins use pebbles to propose to their girlfriends.
Well, that's very nice.
That's a fantastic fact and also a handy hint.
It is. So if
Yeah,
you
you
like
feel a bit
someone,
shaky
you could
skin.
just sort of
Have a
hand
pebble.
them a pebble.
Have a pebble.
Have a pebble.
Yeah.
Would you be attracted to that, Dave? Someone came up to you and went,
Pebbles aren't my thing.
no, it didn't work for Dave. Sorry about that, folks.
And he's got a question for you.
Like, good, Kenny?
What job would you try to get if you were not a poet, and how different would your life be?
Well, the very first job I thought I'd go for was be a farmer, and that didn't really work out. I'm not quite sure why. I think my parents wanted me to study too much, didn't really want me to be a farmer, so I took it from them. Then I once said, big mistake. I did like GCSEs, like the exams you do when you're 16. It was called O-levels in those days. And one of them I did was called biology.
Right.
And I hadn't done any other sciences. I'd done English and French and German and Latin and things like that. And then after we'd done the exams, I said to my parents, I said, you know, I quite like doing biology. And they went, did you? You could become a doctor. And suddenly, this whole thing went into it was like cogs that were out of control.
Right.
I was, Michael's going to become a doctor. Michael's going to look after us when we get old. My son, the doctor. And it just worked and worked and worked. And I did. I went to medical school.
Oh, really?
And it was like, not me. I mean, I didn't have any argument with medicine. Medicine is wonderful and glorious and terrific, but
Cutting up dead bodies?
yeah, fine. No. All that was fine. I really enjoyed all that stuff, believe it or not. But I couldn't see myself as a doctor.
Right.
And so I had to try and get out of it. And so, it was a long struggle, which I wrote down in my autobiography I did, called So They Call You, Pisher.
Yeah.
And it's in there. But if I wasn't who I am, if that hadn't worked out either, I would have liked to have been an actor. You want to be an actor, don't you, Sophie? Yeah, you went to drama school. That's a good idea, isn't it? Any of your children gone to drama school?
No, not at all.
What are any of them doing?
One is a teacher.
Yeah?
One of them is a very good social worker here in London. One of them is two of them are teachers. One of them's a mum, and then the rest are just young.
Yes,
people.
they're just young.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite a good career, isn't it?
Young. I was going to stick to that as a career.
Yeah, I tried as well. I tried being young. How young are you, Dave?
Old enough.
Old enough.
I got sacked. I was young,
Yeah.
and they sacked me.
Yeah. I wonder, we didn't actually look up any questions. There were questions coming in. Let's just have a little look at, oh, goodness me. Let's see whether there's any questions coming in. All these things. Yeah, Dave's putting it through. I can only imagine getting out of med school, says Zenertia. And then Jordan says, my daughter Bella Stanford read all your books. She would love to one day meet you in person. Please give her a shout out and I can show her later. She's currently at Bromstone School, says Jordan Stanford. So we'll give Bella Stanford a shout out. 1, 2, 3. Bella Stanford. Lovely, very good. And Spherical Cheese, great name.
Ooh, good name.
Yeah, that's one of those, what are they called? Edam.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know that cheese, it's made backwards.
Oh,
Edam.
very good.
It's made backwards.
Very good.
Dave. No, shaking his head, didn't work. Never mind. Did you get that one? Edam, made backwards. No, never mind. Gouda, not made backwards.
Yeah.
Where was that, Spherical Cheese? When was the first time you were in front of a video camera?
Wow.
1974, I think, when my first book came out, which was called Mind Your Own Business. Ask me what my first book was called.
What was your first book called?
Mind Your Own Business. Boom,
Well,
boom.
boom.
Yeah, so that was the first time, I think. Oh, Laura's telling me time. We've got to keep an eye on the time. So we've done that. Yeah, Louise Dunpont, sorry, not DuPont. That's the people who own large amounts of America. Yeah. Louise Dunpont writes, hello, Michael. I'm a huge fan. I've read a ton of your books. That's a lot. And watched both of your movies.
There you go.
Have I made any movies? I'm not sure.
Bear Hunt.
Oh, yes, that's one I didn't. Yeah. You inspire me to write and read and to continue improving myself. That's lovely. My friend Katie is the one who introduced all of your books to me. And the day of the live Q&A will be Katie's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Katie.
Happy birthday to you.
I was wondering if you could please shout her out. Well, we've sung her out.
Sung it.
I wonder how old she is. Thank you, Louise. Thank you for that. Now, how long have we got, Laura, before we have to say goodbye? 5. Michael Plews, all the way from Bangkok. We've been in Bangkok,
Wow.
Pennsylvania. Where else have we been? France. Italy.
Italy. Yeah,
Yes.
Napoli.
Yes, in Napoli. Who's the manager?
Ancelotti.
Yeah, very good.
Got it.
Yeah. Dear Mr. Rosen, I'm a teacher at Bangkok Patana School in Thailand. Well, hello. Hello, Michael. I'm a big fan of yours and of children's poetry in general. Fantastic. As such, I run an after-school club for children interested in reading, writing and performing poetry.
Wow.
I would love to have been at a school like that.
Is a good
I did
school.
belong to a drama club. Did you belong to a club?
Yeah,
after
yeah,
school?
I did drama, but that sounds so good.
It does, doesn't it? The children are between 7 and 9 and think you're brilliant. Well, thank you very much. Hello, you folks in your after-school club. I saw your live chat was coming up, so I asked my poetry group if they had any jokes, poems or questions, and I've typed them up. So, Frank, what have we got? You asked me...
I'll ask and you answer.
Yeah.
What does Michael Rosen have in his garden?
Poetry.
Yay.
And that comes from Sana or Sana.
What does Michael Rosen like to plant in his garden?
Rosens. And that's from Haley H. And do you know the name Rosen? What does it mean in German?
Does it mean
Roses,
Yeah.
yes. Some of you may know a little song. It's
The Rosen.
Brahms' Lullaby, or is it in German Brahms' Wiegenlied, I think it's called. And it goes, Guten Abend, Gute Nacht, mit Rosen bedacht, which means good evening, good night, with roses bedeckt. Bedacht. You see, German and English is quite similar in some ways. So, do you know, my German teacher started singing that to us once when I was at school. And I was doing German, and she went, Guten Abend, Gute Nacht. She had a little high voice, actually. Guten Abend, Gute Nacht, mit Rosen. And when she got to that bit, she went, and collapsed in a fit of giggles. And I thought, why is she laughing? She's seen the word Rosen 100 times there. She also taught my brother, who's older than me, and was in the school with my dad, taught with my dad. Why did she suddenly collapse? Then when she couldn't go on with the teaching us, so I can only get as far as that.
Oh my God.
I can only get as far as bedacht. And then I don't know the rest because she was in such a fit of giggles. It's a shame, isn't it? Who is your favourite poet, says Sana. I think maybe ever, it's probably somebody called William Shakespeare. Not so much for his poems, but for his plays, which are very poetic. But a poet, there's a poet called Jackie Kay, who I think is really brilliant. You know Jackie Kay's poems? Do look her up, folks. She's really brilliant. Who's your favourite poet?
Michael Rosen.
Oh, stop it. Yeah, okay. I paid him to do that. That's all right. Yeah, even though he's support. Anyway, when did you start writing poems? Because I wanted to when I was about 15. I had written some poems at school before, including the most boring poem ever. It was called The Train, though trains are lovely. But the only thing was, it was about a train that was slowing down. And it's quite interesting. It's quite hard to make it interesting. So the only line I remember from it is, and now the train is slowing down. It's not very good, is it?
No.
Do you think we could improve on it?
I think
Dave, what would you put in it to improve it? Now the train is slowing down. Now the train is speeding up. Would that be better?
That's already better.
It's already better, isn't it? Yeah, very good. Thank you. Why did you start making poems? Why do we start writing? Why do we do it? You said partly to make your mates laugh.
Yeah, making people laugh, if you're not the biggest in the class and you're not the best at football, making people laugh is the best, second best.
Yeah, no, it's not second best. It's all right. No, I think it's all right. I mean, it's nearly as good as football. Who's your best player at Liverpool, do you think?
At the moment, Mo Salah.
Can you sing the song?
Mo Salah, Salah. No, come on.
No, not that one. The other one.
The one about, if he's a Muslim too.
No, not that one. No. That one.
Oh, yeah. No, you've got me.
Can't
I've gone
you
blank
think about it?
I've gone blank.
Why did you start making poems, says Kristen? I think because I thought poems were cool. I mean, talking of, the Beatles from Liverpool, I always loved listening to Paul McCartney talking about how they started writing and how they had uncles and fathers and stuff who played things, and then they sat there with their school exercise books.
Yeah.
And if you go to the British Library in London, you can see I Want to Hold Your Hand written out in capital letters. They weren't brilliant at actually handwriting. And it was just so wonderful that they had these tunes and these words in their head, and just thought, This is cool. We can do this.
And copying people as well, I would really say,
Yeah.
like copying people. Like tell the story that you've heard from somebody else. It becomes your story when you tell it.
And
you
they
know.
did that because Paul had his uncle, didn't he?
Yeah,
He was in a band, I think.
and but they played loads of covers of other people's songs, and then they
did.
sort of become your song.
Yeah, Smokey Robinson, The Miracles they did, which was wonderful. And then they imitated that and said, well, we can do this.
Yeah.
And I always say to children, I say this in my book, this one, here it is, What is Poetry? I say the simplest and easiest way to write is to read a poem and say, I could do that. All right, you just give yourself the chutzpah, that in Yiddish means the sort of nerve, to say, yeah, I could do that. And then you look at the poem and you just give it a go, don't you?
Yeah.
You imitate it, yeah. Very good. Okay, so there's some other questions there quickly from Kristen, Ethan and Sharia and Kieran, all from that club. How many videos have you made? Over 200, yeah. If you go through our kids' poems and stories with Michael Rosen, there's over 200. How do you have such good expression on my face? That's imitating other people and doing faces and moving. Quite often we don't use all our mouths, do we? Particularly in kind of Northern Europe, we're not so good at it, are we?
Like that.
Whereas when you go to Italy and Spain, you see people going,
Yeah.
and they use all their mouths. It's wonderful, it's tremendous. And what's the longest poem you've ever written? Maybe No Breathing. That's quite long. I think that is one of the longest. Read this poem now, coming up from Elisa. Can you read this one, Frank?
Cows. Cows can't fly. Cows can't fly in. Cows can't fly in the. Cows can't fly in the sky. And it's
a little triangle.
It's a
Can you
little
see that on the camera? Have you got that, Matt?
a little cow.
Matt's going to zoom in and see it while I read it again. Hold it up. Cows can't. Cows can't fly. Cows can't fly in. Cows can't fly in the. Cows can't fly in the sky. It's clever because it rhymes again at
it's
the end,
very
isn't
good.
it? Yeah, well done, Elisa. And we also know that cows can't
Come downstairs.
walk downstairs. So we've done a whole cows thing today. That's very, very good. I'm going to just try my cow impression again. Does that sound like a cow, Dave?
Yep.
That's
Good.
brilliant. You really
Could you
get the
believe that there was a
resonance.
cow in the room on this live
Yeah.
broadcast? And suddenly there's a panic on. Quick, quick, there's a cow. And we're upstairs here, by the way. You may not know it. So the cow is stuck.
It's stuck. We'll
What
have
are we
to
going
winch
to do?
it.
It's getting quite agitated now. It's getting... Dave, what are we going to do with the cow?
I think
What are
I think you're milking this gag.
Oh, yes. Oh, very good. Very good. We like it. Right. So we're coming to the end. What's the time, Frank? What's the time?
It is 22.
22. I think we're going to draw this to an end. I'm just going to mention a few people quickly before we say goodbye to you all. Okay, so we've got August Nord, who says, how did the chocolate cake taste? Very nice. Alex Cole, any of your old stories on your YouTube were true? Yes. The project was true, but strict, the no breathing, not quite so true. Hugo Borbilas says he likes my poem, where it takes place on the island of Corfu. I'm currently travelling there. Which cafe did this story take place? All I know, it was that it was on the north of the island. And really, it's about my son Joe, and you may have seen Joe's name. He's the one who runs this YouTube channel. So Igneous Moth, okay, he's got a question there. And Stan Long, a message from Penwortham Primary. Final fact sent in by Zach Ward. Let's finish on this. Frank, what is the final fact sent in by Zach Ward?
Zach says, a man once knotted 39 cherry stems with his tongue in 3 minutes.
That's back with the crocodile.
Fantastic.
Crocodiles couldn't do
And
that.
with the tongue rolling.
Crocodiles couldn't do
No,
that because
no.
they couldn't get the tongue out.
Absolutely.
No, exactly. That's fantastic, Zach. Well, that's it for today. So a big thank you to Frank Cottrell Boyce. Could we clap here in the studio, folks? Frank, thank you. And don't forget, you can view the first chapter of my novel, You're Thinking About Tomatoes, today. Chapter 2 will be out tomorrow. And if you enjoyed the show, it'll be available to view again on the channel soon. Thanks so much, folks. See you next time. Bye for now.